Ms. Robinson, you are suing your mother for paternity fraud and are here to prove that Mr. Moore is your biological father, even though your mother put another man's name on your birth certificate. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Harris, you're certain Mr. Moore is not your daughter's father and claim her case of paternity fraud is outrageous.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you plan to prove that today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore is currently waiting outside the courtroom. We will hear from him in a moment. But first, Ms. Robinson, why did you wait 36 years to come to court?
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't feel that I'm the one that waited the 36 years. I feel that my mom waited 36 years to help me find who my father is. And I have always, tried to ask her about my father. I guess it was a part of her past she didn't just want to bring up. So it always got pushed to the back burner. Or I was told, get the hell out of her face, leave her alone, don't ask any questions about it, you know who your dad is.
She's lying. I've always told her who her dad was. And to my knowledge,
who was supposed to be my dad?
It's not Mr. Moore. I had already moved on.
But the other guys that she says is my father, I look nothing like.
And you don't look like,
and
she doesn't look like him either.
So
I look like
I've never kept secrets from her, Your Honor. I've always been honest to the best of my ability
That's
to
not
her.
True. We were supposed to come here 3 weeks ago, and my mom, for some reason, she was nervous.
It wasn't that I was nervous. I just didn't want to come here at that time to listen to any more of their lies.
Yeah, nobody wanted to deal with the past, but I'm the past.
Because,
I need a
Ms.
dad.
Harms, in your mind, you're saying, I know who your father is and I already told you.
Yes, ma'am. I had already moved on. He is not your father.
When you say you had already moved on, explain that. You're saying you moved on from
Mr. Moore. I never thought he was a father because I had already moved on, Your Honor.
So you're saying you got pregnant after you already moved on away from him, so there's no way he could be your biological father, so you didn't even feel like there was any reason to entertain that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Robinson, why are you so convinced that he is a possibility?
Your Honor, I'm convinced because I've heard a lot of rumors in the small town we're from in Arkansas. Everybody says that this man is my dad. He's always came to me and said he's my dad.
Really?
But the thing was, I was always being sent with the other man. So if
excuse me, Your Honor, that's another lie. She was never been sent.
Yes, I was
with
being
another
sent
man.
To another man's
No,
house.
No, you were not. That is a lie, Your Honor. I don't know where she's getting this from.
Who was my grandma all my life?
Your Honor, what is she saying? This rumor has it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what, does she think she looked like Mr. Moore?
Yes, I do.
Why? Because nose? She's got a normal nose, Your Honor.
No,
and
it's not a normal nose, Mom.
When did you first hear about Mr. Moore being a possible biological father?
The first time I heard about it was kind of weird because I was young and I was just told that he's not your father.
Your Honor, excuse me, Your Honor, if she thought that, why would it take her 36 years?
Because no one lets me talk.
Wait, I wanted to finish the story because
nobody lets me talk. I mean, never. What kid doesn't want to know their father? What little girl doesn't want to know her daddy?
So I want to understand this. You were told specifically, Mr. Moore is not your father.
Yes, by my mother.
Did you ask the question? How did this come up?
She had just told me one day, because, I used to go back and forth from Michigan to Arkansas. So I guess she felt that if I went down to Arkansas, I might see him.
Your Honor,
so she came to me and told me that if Vernon ever came to you and told you that he was your dad, tell him to get out your face, leave you alone, and he's not your father. So.
And that's Mr. Moore?
Mr. Moore, yes.
So you were told as a child, if someone comes up to you and says he's your biological father, just tell him to get out your face.
Get out my face, leave me alone, you're not my dad. And it's like, who is Vernon? Who is Mr. Moore?
Did you ask that question?
Not at the time. I was a kid. I just listened to what she said. My whole life has been very empty. It really has.
I understand. I often say in this courtroom, when people say to me, I did not have my father and I felt like there was a missing piece,
and it really does.
I say it because I have had my father and he is loving and kind and my #1 fan, and I could not imagine my life without him in it.
And that's all I want.
And when you say, I never had that, I feel for you because I know what you're missing. I really do, and I see the tears in your eyes, even at 36.
Other people take it for, I'm glad that you can say you had your father, but you have empathy to know how I could feel about it.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people have their fathers and they'll look at me like, I don't even like my daddy. Girl, you better without him. No, I could be better with him because I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I sat up and got with somebody at 17, about to get out of school, had a baby. That stopped me from going to the Air Force. Really just ruined my whole life. I love my daughter. She didn't ruin it. I did by making a mistake like they did. I'm 36 years old. I deserve to have a father. My kids deserve a grandfather. My grandson deserves a great-grandfather. I never said she didn't love me. But if you really love your kid, my love is a little deeper than that. And I'm gonna do anything for mine.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but don't believe that sympathy role. This kid, her and Mr. Moore are compulsive liars.
How am I a compulsive liar when
Everything
I never
I
had
did,
a
I raised
dad?
my daughter. I got pregnant at 15.
How is that a lie?
I raised her by myself without a dad. Yes, she has the right to know who her dad is, Your Honor, ma'am. But I don't think it's Mr. Moore.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
Okay, I wanted to submit some evidence, Your
Ron, may I see
Honor,
that,
that
please?
shows, that I think helps me prove that he's my father.
Okay.
First, I have
Gray hair.
a birth certificate.
This
Okay.
is a birth certificate, you said?
Yes, that was my original birth certificate right there. On the father's spot, it has a signature. Now, when I looked at that, I seen that the signature looked new. It didn't look as old as my mom's signature on there. But I'm a kid, so I went along with it. Last year, I needed to get a new ID. So I go to get a new ID, and they told me that my original birth certificate there was not good enough. I needed to get the new one. When I got the new birth certificate, it did not have a father's name on it. Not at all.
Really?
So that led me to believe.
Your Honor, where's this new birth certificate?
I sent it
I've
in.
never heard of it until now, Your Honor.
I sent it in. It
She's
does
lying
not
again.
have a. So that's the other man's signature on that birth certificate.
I know that handwriting. Hey,
He
looks
told
like
me
you
he did
forged
not
it
sign
like
a
you
birth
forged some other
certificate for
stuff
me.
long time ago.
Who are you saying forged it, Miss Arms?
Miss Robinson.
Oh, you think your daughter forged
Me?
a name?
Yes, ma'am.
You gave me the
I
birth
gave you that
certificate
with
when
no
I was
signature.
12.
I didn't give you
to
that
work
with
at
no
the beauty
signature like
salon.
that.
Mom, it had a
Of course,
signature on it when you gave it
I didn't
to
give
me.
you that when you were 12, Your Honor. When they got a certain age,
We start
18
working.
and up, that's when I start giving my kids the birth certificate.
So wait, when you give it to her, does it have a signature or doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
No, ma'am. Whatever.
And I also have evidence why I think we look alike.
So this is a picture of
me and Mr. Moore.
you on the left and Mr. Moore on the right.
And I also have another picture of our noses, Your Honor, when I was younger.
Oh, Lord.
This
'Cause I
is
had
side
no
by
pictures of
side.
anybody. Every time I look in the mirror, ever since I looked at his pictures, I feel like Mr. Moore with a wig on. So if that ain't what it is, I need to be proved wrong today.
And Ms. Robinson, you have premature graying,
Yes, that's why I covered it today.
and you say Mr. Moore had it.
All over his head, ever since the first time I ever saw him when I was 12. That man had gray hair already.
And so you've submitted evidence that states individuals who have a family history of premature gray hair have a higher risk of having premature gray hair themselves.
I don't have a daddy to compare that with. I don't know his history. So how would I know it came from my father? So I want to know who my father is. I feel this man is my father. He's saying he's my father. God, I look like him. What more do you want?
How did this relationship with Mr. Moore begin? What was your relationship with him?
Young, dumb, and stupid. My mother was never there, and I'm running around young like a chicken with her head cut off, searching for love, and got caught up in a web that I'm regretting to this day because throughout all this,
Bad kids.
my daughter has suffered, and I'm here today to try to help her out and stop some of this suffering.
But she don't think he's my dad.
No, not at all.
But you admit to a sexual relationship with him.
Yes, ma'am.
How long was this relationship?
Oh, Your Honor, I'm so old now.
You know, this is the thing, Your Honor, this is what it is. Everybody put it to the back of their mind.
I would say maybe
So they don't want to think about it.
years at the most.
Actually, Mr. Moore has joined us.
Thank God.
Today, he is here
Thank
in
God.
court.
Oh,
And
thank
Ron,
God.
I'd like to have you escort Mr. Moore into the court.
I did.
It should.
Thank you.
Witness stand.
Don't think you just a mess. If he always told me he was my daddy.
Gray hair there, make it
But
your
if you
dad.
want to be my daddy, you should have been there.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. You know, we're here for Jennifer, Miss Robinson, and she's indicated through her testimony that you believe you are her biological father. Do you?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
You do?
Yes.
Tell the court why.
Well, Your Honor, she used to babysit her sister's kids, and I used to go there a lot, and we were having sex a lot. It wasn't no little bit. It's true. And so A few months later, I know a little pouch on her belly. I said, are you pregnant? She said, yeah. I said, could it be mine? She said, it could be, maybe not. Which I already knew about somebody.
That is a lie, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
At least
How do you
you
remember a
tried.
pouch?
Yeah, at least.
Boy, please.
You about like five
What are you
months.
talking about?
Hold up,
She
hold
ain't
up.
yours.
Your Honor,
That
would
gray hair
can
you got don't make her yours either.
Can you ask her?
Try
Okay,
some
Miss
hair.
Harms, let him finish his testimony.
Later on, I heard that her father said whoever got her pregnant, he was gonna do something to him. I kind of backed off a little bit. I wasn't afraid, but I backed off. I wanted to be in her life. But she took her away when she was like 4 or 5, then got married, ran off. I always have said she was my daughter. Cause she looked
You
like
just believed it.
I believed it.
And because of the time, because you were there,
Yeah.
and when she got pregnant, you knew it was around the time that you all were having all that sex
Yes.
as teenagers.
I was there a lot.
And you,
Young and dumb.
Young and dumb and wild.
okay, that's enough of that testimony. We can move on
Yeah.
to the next point. I get it.
Yeah.
So the point was, you remember the time frame.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I hate that I wasn't in her life a lot. You know, I missed that. You know what I'm saying?
Because I really miss you.
And I can see that that hurts
if
you.
you are.
Yeah.
Did you try to be involved in Miss Robinson's life?
Yes, I did.
How?
I talked to her grandmother a lot. Like one time, I said, "How Jennifer doing?" And she said, "But she needs some shoes." I gave her $50 in. I wasn't making a lot of money, but she out here to back me up. But then
And
they
so
not
you
together
would
now.
inquire about Miss
Yeah, I
Robinson.
would.
So earlier in Miss Robinson's testimony, she said that at 7 years old or so, her mother basically said to her, when you're in Arkansas, if a man named Vernon, which is you, Mr. Moore, comes up to you and says that he's your biological father, tell him to get out your face and leave you alone. Why do you think she'd say that?
'Cause I didn't have anything to do with her no more.
And when I seen him when I was 12, that's exactly what I told him.
Yeah,
You remember that day?
I remember.
He pulled up on me. I was walking to the store. He said, "Hey, girl, I'm your daddy."
You said, I'm
said-
your daddy?
Yeah.
I said, "What's your name?" He said, "Vernon." I'm like, "Oh, that's Vernon. You ain't my daddy. My mama told me to tell you to leave me alone." He said, "Girl, I'm your daddy. Your mama crazy." He handed me like $200-something. I went and bought fireworks and
I'll believe
pizza.
that.
Miss Holmes.
That was a lot of money to me.
Cause like I said, I broke a heart. Okay, that's what it's all about.
You
I
say you
believe
broke
that.
her heart.
That probably what caused I moved out with somebody else, you know. And plus, I've been hearing about who she was sleeping with this and that. You know, I was too. So I just moved on.
And so how are you feeling when you hear this testimony? When you hear this man, your whole life, he thought he was your biological father. He even wrote up on you and said, I'm your daddy. How does that make you feel?
I feel happy about it because somebody's actually trying to claim me when I feel like I was just a piece of trash on the
That's
side
good.
nobody wanted to claim. I feel like I look like you.
I agree.
Clear as day.
And I'm sorry I wouldn't live your life a lot.
And I really want to know. I really want to know. This is the
And
end
we
right here.
have those results for you.
Oh, Lord.
Good.
Yes.
And no matter
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
The envelope,
Lord.
please, Ron.
I hope he is my daddy. I really do. Because I really need a dad. I really, really do.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Robinson versus Harms, when it comes to 36-year-old Jennifer Robinson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Moore, you are not her father.
Oh, my God. Dude, who is my daddy?
Who did I tell you was? You the gray hair gonna do
I would
it.
help you with 2 months. It's
That
not
is
just
so
what you're
wrong.
talking about.
Are
you mean
you
men too much?
serious?
It was
I
too
can't
much.
believe
You don't know my life
It-
history, so don't speak on it. Because I wasn't with no whole lot of men. You was just the first one way down
God.
at 15. That's why you
I
great.
cannot believe he is not my
I tried
dad.
to tell you, he ain't your dad. But no, I'm lying.
I cannot.
So let's go get the other one and come right back here and do this again.
Then you gotta
Listen.
come back again.
My courtroom is always open for you, Miss Robinson. If there is someone else you'd like to
Serious,
test.
Vernon? I'm really just
They
nobody's
still
child.
love you, 'cause they said it would.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
We have counseling for you and resources. I wish you all the very best of luck. Please help your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Help her.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Court is adjourned. Mr. Barlow, you say your 8 kids look exactly like you, but the defendant's son, Jabril, looks nothing like you. And that's because you're not his father, and you know who is. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Winslow, you stand in court stating that Mr. Barlow is your son's biological father, but also say if he's not, there's a good reason for it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Barlow, tell us why you doubt Jabril and who you believe his real father is.
Your Honor, I doubt these things due to the fact that during the time of Jabril's conception, I was away. You understand? And
He
as
wasn't
I was
that
away,
long, Your Honor. He was around enough for us to conceive and
while
have
as I was
children.
away, you understand? While as I was away, I believe she was sleeping with the landlord.
You do?
Yeah.
And that's not possible,
And
Your Honor. The landlord.
Why do you believe that? What evidence do you have? Did you hear something?
Nah,
See
while I was
something?
away, I would call all the time because I got a long past of infidelity. I got a long history of infidelity.
A very
And
long
so-
history.
And so I left. When I went away, she said pay back some.
Okay,
straight laced.
let's
Your
use
Honor,
appropriate
That's
first
language.
exactly
of all,
what she
I
said.
never stated that, Your Honor.
So
he comes
now
up with
I
me.
go away.
I've never stated
and
that.
While as I'm away, I'm calling and stuff. She says, yo, you calling me, he here. Call me
Your
back.
Honor, the landlord was there
And
at the
I'm-
house.
So you're
because
saying when
he
you
was-
would call, the landlord would be there and she'd tell you to call back?
Yeah.
He was doing his landlord responsibility.
So why hang up on me when I'm paying for the phone
Because
call?
he need my undivided attention to see what's going on with the house.
So, Mr. Barlow, clearly if the landlord's going to repair something in the
It's not the
apartment,
landlord
he
that's
has
doing
to
it.
be in the apartment. So if she says, I'm going to call you back because the landlord is here,
And
is
I
that
have,
just because
and I
she
have,
wants to make sure he's fixing the right thing?
I'm calling at 10 p.m.
Oh,
and
you-
he there.
You call at 10 and he's there.
Yeah, he is.
The landlord's
He there.
at the house at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
And you
put
know why,
together
Your
bids
Honor?
and stuff.
You know why,
Put
Your
together
Honor?
bids.
You know why, Your
Put
Honor?
together the beds?
Yeah.
You know why,
I'm
Your
like,
Honor?
how he got
Because he doesn't have contractors. He does things
So what his
in a
so-called girlfriend thinking
three-story
about
building
this?
himself. He doesn't have a hired contractor. He's doing everything himself. So if he has to come at 10 o'clock at night to fix some water that's leaking from my roof with 3 children in my house, then that's what he's gonna do.
Well, Mr. Barlow said he was there
All
fixing
the
some
way.
beds.
Okay, now, when I'm in the house, I'm pregnant with Mr. Barlow's baby. I can't put bunk beds together. I can't put these entertainment center together. So yeah, if Mr. Barlow is absent and he can't do it, who else is gonna do it?
Okay, listen. This man running a business. Now, you gotta pay me $2,500 for rent, right? For what reason do I say, okay, you ain't got it, just give me $300?
This is what happened. When I moved into this apartment
no
building,
man
I
doing
had got duped by a crooked person. The landlord that I was supposed to move into a house in, I paid him $2,000. Okay, what I went to do is get my lights cut on, and they told me that the place that I was trying to rent wasn't even rentable. Therefore, I'm driving around in a U-Haul with no place to go. I come across the landlord,
Okay.
and I tell him I have no money. I just gave my $2,000 to a landlord that
So
was
ask her
crooked,
about
and
the
I can't
furniture.
even move in
Ask
the
her
house.
about the furniture,
So what he says
refrigerator.
to me is, okay, well, since you don't have anything right now and I see you with your 3 children in a U-Haul truck, you can move in without giving me anything. And when you get the deposit back from the previous landlord, then you can start paying me.
So, Mr. Barlow, your point was he may have been interested in her or something because instead of the $2,500 that was,
Who gonna take $300?
he just took $300.
Someone who felt sorry for
All
a
right, now check
single
this out.
mother.
Hold up. I'm taking $300 from you out of 25. I'm a businessman now. But yet, you didn't just give me the other 2,200, but I'm buying you furniture. I'm
He
buying your
didn't
son
buy
a
any
bed,
furniture.
and
He
I'm giving you a
didn't buy any
refrigerator.
What
furniture
furniture did he
from
buy?
me.
You understand?
What he's
man?
talking
What furniture
about
did he
is
buy?
I didn't have
a
a
living
bed.
room
Winslow,
set.
just a second.
A living room set, a kitchen set. Like once again, the bed that he put together. You understand what I'm saying?
So you say he's down there, he's over there doing a lot of manly duties.
Yeah, but how about this? I'm away, and over 80 times, no exaggeration, over 80 times I call, and I'm like, yo, what's up, babe? Hey, I can't talk right now. Click. And so I call right back.
You know what?
Hey, yo, you know what? We can't talk right now. Click. Hey, yo, I got the landlord here. Click.
You
and
said
then
over 80 times.
Over 80 times.
Yeah, honest.
You called and she basically just hung up
Yeah,
on you.
hang up on me.
He
And then when I
calls
came home one time,
he
I pop
calls
up.
to hold
I pop
the phone.
up.
He calls to try to see if he can hear noise in the background. I'm at home with 3 boys. I don't have time for him to hear let me
If
hear
I'm
who's
paying
in the
for the phone
background.
call,
Be
why hang
quiet.
up
Let
on
me
me for
see what's
somebody
going
you're not
on.
dealing with?
That's his own insecurities because of his past and all the cheating he has done on me. He expected because I haven't cheated on him.
Shit.
You know what the real problem is, Your Honor? Mr. Barlow didn't know what the landlord looked like, so when he finally saw the landlord, he was like, oh, I thought the landlord was old. When he found out he was around our age, that's when his insecurities came in.
I came home one time, I just
Your
popped up,
Honor.
right? I pop up one time, they crossing the street. I think the dude a stranger, because I ain't never met him yet. And so they walking across the street, and I'm like, yo, I approached all of them. Hey, what y'all doing with this stranger? What you doing with my children? They like, he ain't a stranger, he the landlord. You know, they got ice cream and sodas. He coming in, you know what I'm saying? And then I come
was
home
a
another
hot
time,
day,
they
Your
playing
Honor.
football. You know what I'm saying? They playing ball. He always at the house. For what?
That's a very nice landlord.
Yeah, he's very nice.
Listen.
So,
He's very nice.
Mr. Barlow, you say you feel like the baby doesn't look like you.
Man, he look like this dude. Only reason I can't tell you that they got the same hair color because he bald head.
My son obviously has African-American features. However, he doesn't look like me or Mr. Barlow.
So what you're saying is your son is very fair-skinned.
Like,
Oh, he's a
questions the
beautiful
will.
little boy.
Yeah, that's...
And so you feel like when you look at him, though, you don't see any resemblance.
Nah, he ain't me.
He doesn't look like me or Mr. Barlow. So now that leads me to believe the only way that this baby is not this man's child is if he's not mine. I believe something happened at the hospital, and it would devastate me, Your Honor. I have a strong connection with my son. Now, if this boy isn't my son, that means not only do I have to find out who he actually belongs to, but then I have to find out where my biological child is.
This is a first in this courtroom. You're saying that you question whether or not you're this child's mother.
Yes, I
And this
do.
is really upsetting you. You're serious.
Yes, I'm serious because every day when I go somewhere, whether it's the grocery store, wherever we go, the doctor, we went to a place for my kids to jungle gym jumping, and a Hispanic lady sat there and she was like, is he Hispanic? Is he mixed or something? I did a research online. The research is right here.
Let me see that.
And
What did you
28,000 babies have been switched at the hospital and find out later on that their parents aren't their biological children.
Let me be clear. You pulled up research, and this is research that talks about the fact that there are about 28,000 babies that get switched at birth in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Every year.
Every
Now,
year.
sometimes that's temporary, but sometimes permanently.
Sometimes, Mommy, I just want to
And
know.
you have so much doubt, not just surrounding the paternity, but also as to whether or not you're the child's mother, because everywhere you go, people are asking you.
Everywhere I go.
Is
And
Everywhere
father.
I go. It's like, it's so unfair because they treat me like I'm a kidnapper. It's really not funny. It's not a joke.
I'm gonna take a moment. I wanna look through my paperwork and make sure I have some answers before we go any further. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So give me a moment. Court is adjourned until further notice. We're back in session in the case of Barlow versus Winslow. You've claimed this child could have been switched at birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I needed to go back to my chambers. I needed to do some research. I needed to look through the results. I had to find the maternity portion of the results so that I could confirm whether or not you are, in fact, Jabril's mother. These results state that the probability of maternity is 99.9999%. You, Ms. Winslow, are Jabril's mother.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I needed to hear, Your Honor.
And I can see you're truly relieved.
It's a weight lifted off of my shoulder.
So, Mr. Barlow, you truly believe there's another reason why the child doesn't look like you.
I believe that was just an excuse. Like I said, excuses
No,
are
it
only
wasn't
good
an
for those
excuse.
who use them. If he's not yours, he would switch that birth.
That's
You
something
understand what
that
I'm
I
saying?
strongly believe. Do you think I would play with something like that, Your Honor? That's something serious. That's hurtful. I have been living with this, as I stated, since he was born. I have cried
And
to my mother about this.
As soon as my son was
So
born,
why
the
would I
landlord
make
came
up
to the house
something
to
like
see
that?
the baby.
So what does the landlord look like?
Your Honor, the landlord is Colombian.
And when you go places, people say the baby looks Hispanic, and Mr. Barlow is convinced that it's the landlord's baby because he's Colombian.
That's correct. And I have never
say
cheated
something?
on this man. I've been with this man for
yeah.
11 years, off and on. Throughout the whole time I've been with him, he have not only had twins on me, but triplets as well. So it's not like it's just like a little simple thing, like he hasn't done anything to me. He has done the most. Yes, as a woman, I
gives
stand
me
here with
even
my
more
backbone,
reason to
and I've
leave.
accepted all of his wrongdoing. And I still love him to death, to the bottom of my heart. So why would I wait till he's in...
Excuses are best for those who use them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mr. Barlow, you're serious. You believe
Positive.
this landlord has a little bit too much of a presence in your life.
Man, he had too much of a presence in their life. I was always away.
He had a presence in our lives because he wasn't there.
There'd be times I'll sit
He
there,
calls
man,
the baby
and I
son.
talk to my baby. Yeah.
So you do call Jabril your son.
He does. And he signed the birth certificate.
And
I have proof
and
right
Jabril
here.
calls you his daddy.
Yeah, he say dada. And he could say that Papa. He say Padre.
No, he doesn't,
he can say a
Your
lot of
Honor.
Spanish
He does
stuff.
not.
You know what I'm
That's him
saying?
being funny, Your Honor. He does
He
not
say a lot of
speak
Spanish stuff.
He does not.
You know what I mean? Like,
You saying the child speaks Spanish
No,
too?
Your Honor.
yeah. Like, first of all-
Your Honor, he doesn't speak Spanish. My son talk baby talk, like normal babies. Normal.
And what's the
I talked
evidence
to him.
you were
I
going
said,
to present?
apaga la luz.
The birth
Apaga la
certificate.
luz. Here, go straight to the light switch and try to cut it off.
Well, that's great. It's nothing wrong with a child being bilingual, but you
It's not.
saying it
Well,
makes
well,
you feel like...
It's hereditary.
It's not. It's not hereditary.
No, it actually isn't.
Okay.
Anyway, the evidence you were going to present.
The birth certificate, Your Honor, that Mr. Barlow so gracefully signed.
So, Mr. Barlow, this is your name
Yes,
listed
that's
as
my
the
name.
father on the birth certificate.
Yes, it is.
So
if he didn't
I was
believe it,
there during the delivery. I was there to sign the birth certificate
In which
because
he-
there's no way for me to say, this is not my child. I got 9 children. And out of those other 8 children, there's been spots in their life that I missed. And I said, if this child is mine, I will not
There's
miss
no if.
one single day.
There's no if, Your Honor.
And
This
I
if
was
is-
there. Even when I was there signing that, I told her, and she could tell you, after this, you get a DNA test, we'd be fine. But we
But
left
you
that alone.
understand that by signing this birth certificate, you're considered to be this child's legal father.
I am his legal father right
And
now.
so you accept, well, yes, you are.
You understand
But what
what
I'm
I'm
saying is you're also still questioning whether or not you're his biological father.
And it shouldn't be a question, Your Honor. He knows that this is his son.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
if I open the results and it has been determined that, in fact, this landlord or someone else is Jabril's biological father, you understand because you signed the birth certificate, you are still considered the legal father and you'll be responsible financially to support this child?
Yes, Your Honor. We got home, the landlord was there looking at the baby.
That's not
When you
true.
came home from the hospital?
That's not
Yeah,
true,
when
Your
we was
Honor.
home,
The
he was there,
landlord
he was
was
right there in the kitchen.
to collect rent.
Whatever, that you wasn't paying. But anyway,
Well, how was he there to collect it if I wasn't paying it?
All right.
Your Honor, he's being foolish. Trust me, if I was sleeping with the landlord, I wouldn't have had to scrape up that rent money.
hey. and I believe because she was, that's the reason she didn't have to scrape it up. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, give me that, that's fine, thank you.
I'm tired of talking about the rent money. I want to talk about the paternity. I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Barlow, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
So, the bottom line is you are the mother and you are the father. And ultimately, you two have got to get past all of this that you've brought upon yourselves. Because sometimes when you live in confusion, you can't grow, you can't build. But a child needs to grow up in a family that is healthy. And all this questioning and talking about one another, I mean, you didn't even know if you were the child's mother. I mean, this is how crazy it got that there was so much doubt in your house, you had people convincing you weren't the mother.
That's true, Your Honor, I did.
Ms. Lester, you opened this case against Mr. Lewis because you say he denies fathering your 21-month-old son, Raiden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Only because you won't have sex with him.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you want Mr. Lewis to step up after today's results prove that he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, you claim Ms. Lester was openly sleeping with several men and there is no way you are her son's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Lester, you say Mr. Lewis is denying your baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Me and Stanley planned my son.
We did not plan a baby.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not.
We've also never used a condom. We talked about having a baby numerous times, so this is all new to me on why he's not claiming my son.
So you're denying the baby?
No, I'm not denying a baby. It's just Jatoya Lester, she just always lying. She's known the street to be a hoe. And
All right, let's be respectful.
excuse my language. It's just
He's, Your Honor, excuse my French, he's the hoe.
Oh, God.
Because if
Here we go.
you decided to have unprotected sex with me as well, whether or not you knew the history of whether or not I was sleeping with multiple men.
Okay, but listen, the bottom line is let's use respectful language when we refer to one another and let's get through this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
Yes,
now,
Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, you are convinced you are not Raiden's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell the court why.
First, Jatoya is a hoe.
Did I just say use respectful language in the court?
I'm sorry, but it's just what it is.
No.
That's
It's not what it's gonna be in this courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you look crazy because you're the one sleeping with her anyway, so you're not making a point.
Thank you.
You're only making yourself look dumber. Moving on. How did you even end up in a sexual relationship?
Back when I was young, we've known each other since for probably about 6-7 years. And
Oh, so you all knew each other for a long time.
yes, we have. And I seen her at a grocery store one day. She was with another man then. So I didn't say nothing. When I seen her on Facebook, I inboxed her. She inboxed me back saying, all guys want to do is have sex. I lied and said no. So that
He
same
was in a
exact-
relationship at the time, Your
that
Honor.
same exact night, I went over her house, we had sex. The very first night. No condom.
He's
anything.
lying.
So-
He wrote me on Facebook in March of 2016. We didn't have sex until August because we planned to have my son. He asked me if I wanted to have his baby, and I replied back, yes, I do. He told me he loved me, and I told him I loved him as well. This is why we were having sex.
Your Honor.
While you were having sex?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
How do you
But let
plan-
him tell it.
How do
He
you-
don't. You
how
can
do-
say anything during sex.
Okay, hold on.
How do you...
Hold on. Did you tell her you wanted to have a baby with her while y'all were having sex, Mr. Lewis?
Never said that we was gonna have a baby. Not the first night that we reconnect. and we have sex.
But did you ever say it?
At the heat of the moment,
Right.
guys say anything having sex, Your Honor. Anything.
Note to self. But if you were already having sex, why do you need to say that if it isn't true? It's not like you saying it to have sex. You already having sex, so why you gotta lie?
It was also
Just-
times
Look, this is
where
just what I need to know right now.
Latoya know how to get a brother.
it was
That's
all.
all it is. She's just know how to get a brother.
Now it's your fault, Miss Lester.
It was also
okay.
times-
Jerome, we gonna have this conversation later. I need to know the answer to that question why y'all got to
Oh my
lie.
gosh. It was also times to where we talked about this.
Oh,
while
so
we
you
were
saying he's
riding,
lying
sitting in the
now
car,
because you all really
sitting
talked
in the
about
house
it.
watching
For real?
TV.
For
it
real,
was
though?
more than one time.
That you talked about having a family
yes.
and that you all were in love.
Without
Never,
being in the
never.
moment.
All right,
Stop lying, please stop.
I heard
lying.
enough of that. So you find out you're pregnant.
Yes.
Do you tell Mr. Lewis?
Yes, I told him.
And what do you say, Mr. Lewis, when she says I'm pregnant? Take me to that day.
I called her. She tells me she's pregnant. I asked her, who's the father? She tells me I am. So I'm like, okay. Several months afterwards, she tells me I'm not the father.
No, correction. Actually, he thought I was playing when I said I was pregnant.
I never thought
Yes,
you
you
was
did,
playing.
because you kept saying you ain't pregnant, you ain't pregnant.
I
Yes, you
never
did.
thought you- I never
Correction.
thought you
Yes,
was
you
playing.
did.
No, I
and
never thought you
then
was playing.
the day I had my son, I did not call him because he knew the day that I was having my son because I had to get a cesarean operation.
She's lying.
I didn't contact you.
You didn't contact me.
Okay, so what am I lying about?
You didn't tell me when you was having the baby.
Yes,
or
I
none of
did.
that. No, you
Yes,
did
I did.
not. She tells me she's pregnant. Then she tells me it's my son, but tells another man it's his son. He
No,
actually at the hospital.
Actually, I told him he was.
Hold on, let him finish. He was at the hospital.
At the hospital, he cut the umbilical cord and he signed the birth certificate. So
He
how
sure
am I the
did.
father?
He sure did.
Let me look in my court files because we got a copy of that birth certificate.
Yes, he did.
This birth certificate, oh yeah, here it is, from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Certified record of birth for Raiden
Jador.
And your father's name is another man's name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you
think it's
you
funny.
let another man sign the birth certificate when you told Mr. Lewis it was his child?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I'm not gonna chase someone around. You knew you had this baby. Why do I have to chase you around? Why do I have to tell you this? If I've told you once, I even enlightened him on the days that I was scheduled to go see the doctor during my pregnancy. He didn't want to forsake in that, so no, I'm not gonna follow you. If another man wants to step up, he knew the situation. As long as I did my part as a woman, that's all that matters.
So were you having sex with this other guy?
I had
She
sex
had
to
sex
him
with everybody.
2 weeks. I had sex to the other man 2 weeks prior to him getting me finding out I was pregnant.
So why isn't the other man here too?
Because we did a test and it came back that he was not his father, and he knew that because it was posted on social media. So upon the results being posted on social media, he called me.
Who posts paternity results on social media?
You know why? Excuse my language.
Please say it. Say it.
Freaks.
What logic is that?
They just know. They know Jatoya. They know her. They know
What-
her being a freak. That's all it is.
So, Mr. I'm just gonna let it
No,
go
they-
because
they know you
I don't
for
even
wanting this
understand this
freak.
logic.
That's what
Freaks
they know.
post
Your Honor,
the things on
I
social media.
couldn't.
Okay.
I literally, I've been shot multiple times to where the doctors had pumped so much medicine in my body, and they told me that I couldn't have kids at all.
And since that time, you haven't fathered any other children.
No.
And that's why you feel Raiden is not your biological child.
First of all, Your Honor, he doesn't even look like me. Just because he's light-skinned, he
Yes.
has none of my features at all.
Yes, he do look
He
like
doesn't look like me, Toya,
he do.
at all. He doesn't
Yes, he
look
do.
like me.
So, Mr. Lewis, if you aren't the father, who do you think is? They already tested the other guy that was at the hospital.
I mean, well, she been with her fiance for 10 years. He could be the father.
I I'd like to hear from your fiance. Please stand, sir. Step over to the podium. State your name for the record.
My name is Kevin Brown, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Brown. Thank you for being here today. So, Mr. Lewis just testified that you and Ms. Lester have had a 10-year relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've been sexually active with her for those 10 years?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Stop lying, man. Quit fronting.
When I got in the picture, Raiden was already, I'd say, 3 to 4 months.
Right.
So you don't believe you can't be, well, no, actually, that still doesn't matter, because if you've been 10 years on and off.
Not sexually, though, Your Honor.
Oh.
You believe it.
It's just,
You believe it.
He knows that, then, like I said, I'm really here for support, really. He knows that I'm not the father. She knows I'm not the father. Everybody knows, really. But at the end of the day, this is my fiance, so yes, I'm gonna step up and be the father, period. You know, whether he is the father or he's not, I'm always gonna be here. I'm not going nowhere.
So you got that look in your eye, Mr. Lewis, like you believe he's a potential father.
Yes. Just because they've been on and off as long as I've known Jatoya, and like,
He's
Jatoya,
delusional. Like,
he's
jealous of the fact that I'm with him. Normally, I would have him in this loop where I'm having sex with him and him, and they both know it. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. When I'm mad at him, I go to him. It's not a secret. It's not like I'm playing neither one, because they both know. However, at the beginning of this year, that's when we decided to be serious with this relationship.
How can she be serious when she just hit me 2 weeks ago?
I called him.
Naked.
What?
Bucket naked. In the tub while he's out of town. Trying to get me to come have sex with her.
Do you have proof?
Did you say
proof? What I need proof.
Naked?
You know how you are. We always on the phone.
Everything you say is a lie.
So wait a minute, Mr. Lewis.
Everything was a lie.
When you out of town,
Everybody has a past.
How did I know you was out of town? Did you tell me?
So let's get some order. Let's get some order.
You not my Facebook
It's on
friend.
social media.
You not my
Let's
friend.
get some order. Let's get back to Raiden, because we do want to understand how we got here. So, Mr. Lewis, I read in your court papers that your mother has truly fallen in love with this baby.
Correct.
Now, as you stand here and protest, there's no way you could possibly be this child's father. Your mother, on the other hand, has fallen in love with the beautiful baby and wants Raiden to be her grandchild.
Correct.
Miss Martin, I want to ask you, what has your relationship been like with Raiden?
He's been a real joy to me. I've developed this bond with him. He's developed a bond with my family. He's been around all of my family, and they all just love him to death.
And you come and get him every weekend?
Every other week I come and get him. He got clothes and everything at my house.
And you have fallen in love, completely in love?
Totally in love with him.
So today's results really mean everything.
Yes.
Why are you crying, Miss Lester? What are you feeling in this moment?
His mother has been nothing but a lifesaver since she's came in my son's life. His mother has been nothing but supportive, not only of my son's needs, but mine as well. He prevents that.
And so, what do you want from Mr. Lewis?
I just want him to be a father to his son. I mean, he claimed that he didn't have a father when he was growing up. I don't want that for my son, or for the decisions and the mistakes that I've made in the past. All we can do from our mistakes is learn from them and make sure that we don't make them again.
Yes. Amen to that. Mr. Lewis, how about you? What are you hoping for?
Hope he come back mines. You know, if he come back mines, I'm gonna be in his life and do what I need to do as a father. And that's just.
The stakes are high because you want to change your life and you want this closure for this beautiful young man.
Correct.
And for you, it would be a miracle baby because the doctors told you you're not going to have any children.
Correct.
I think it's time we get the results. Jerome? Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Lester versus Lewis, when it comes to 21-month-old Raiden, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lewis, you are not the father.
Can I say this? I made a mistake, but I can only move forward from her, and I apologize to both of y'all. And we do appreciate everything y'all have done for us.
Mr. Lewis, I see how much pain you're feeling now. What are you feeling, sir?
It's hard to even hear the results and to see him sitting like that, just not knowing who's his real father at all. And it hurts, really, really hurts.